power. Our Elohim. I want to say Torah above for all that you have done for us on this earth. Torah above for keeping us alive. Torah above for our beautiful Shabbat day. And I be asked on this day that you can forgive us for our sins, our transgressions, and our iniquity. Forgive me, Abiyah. And also ask that you forgive the sins, transgressions, and iniquity of our ancestors, those who lived before us. And I be asked on this day that you give us the strength to endure and hope in all things. And I ask that you give us the strength never to fold or never to fall. But I ask you to give us the strength to keep your Torah, never to forsake your word, your covenant. But I be asked that you give us the strength to help our brothers out, to help our sisters out. And I ask that nothing in this life, whether it be man or woman, whether it be thing or any beast, will lead us away from you. But I ask that you give us the strength to be circumspect in all that we do and all that we say. And I ask Abiyah, in the name of your only begotten Son, Yahweh Mashiach, that you may answer this tefillah on this day. And I ask that we can have a joyful Shabbat and call it a delay. Amen, amen, salam.
Amen, amen. Torah Abba, Torah Abba. Now, at this time, we'll have the Assembly Ordinances read by Don Uziel.
I'll be starting in the book of Shemot, commonly called Exodus, chapter 19, verses 1 through 8. And it reads, in the third month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Mizraim, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Mizraim, and how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a set apart nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yah commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yah have spoken, we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yahweh. HalaYah. Our next ordinance will come from Wayyetze, commonly called Leviticus, chapter 26, verses 40 through 46. And it reads, if they shall confess the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Yaakov, and also my covenant with Yoseph, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because even they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahweh their mighty one. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Mizraim, in the sight of the nations, that I might be their El. I am Yahweh. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yah made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe. HalaYah. And our last ordinance to come from Yoseph, commonly called Ezekiel, chapter 36, verses 22 through 28. And it reads, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Adonai Yahweh, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my set apart name's sake, which ye have profaned among the nations, whether ye win. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the nations, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the nations shall know that I am Yahuwah, saith Adonai Yahuwah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your El. HalaYah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Torah Ba'adam. Now at this time we'll have the 10 words, fourth by Don Shah Shamar.
Studying the 10 words from Shemot, comic called Exodus chapter 20, starting at verse 1. Again, I'm coming from Shemot, comic called Exodus chapter 20, starting from verse 1. It reads, and Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I'm Yahweh the Elohim, which has brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. I shall have mercy on the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Elohim in vain. But Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it set apart. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat day of Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore, Yahweh bless the Shabbat day and holiday. Honor thy father and thy mother, and that thy days may be long upon the land. Yahweh thy Elohim giveth. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Akkad. Weyahab Te'et Yahuwah Elaheka, Bekor Lebabka, Ubekor Nefeshka, Ubekor Meodika. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom, Shaki, Cole Avia, Cole Heather Thomas. Not sure who that is, but Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, Mama. And everyone else who is here for Shabbat service today. We're going to go into our HalaYah portion, preceded by my hallelujah belongs to you. 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 You deserve. You deserve. You deserve. You deserve.
Hallelujah belongs to you.
All praise to the Most High. Torah. All praise to the Most High. Are there anyone with the hallelujah? Anything you want to give praise to the Creator for? Anything that He has shown unto you to show unto others, or any way you would like to express yourself on this wonderful Shabbat day, now is the time to do so. Hallelujah. Shema.
So yeah, I just want to give praise to the Most High, Yah, just for keeping me alive, keeping us alive. And, just for all the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding He has given me from His Torah. Also, forgiving me for my mistakes, forgiving us. I believe, yesterday when I was coming back, going to the store before sundown, someone else hit my car, so it didn't happen. So I'm praise the Most High, I didn't get an accident. I also just want to give the Most High praise for His work in me, strengthening me to do more work, to give more of myself to the head, which is there's a lot of work that needs to be done, not in my life, throughout the earth. So I give all praise to the Most High, yeah.
Shalom, Mishpachah. Just giving honor to Yahuwah Zabaoth for life, health, and strength. I thank the Most High for another opportunity to be here today and observe another Shabbat. I thank Yah for correction. Not oftentimes we get the opportunity to be corrected, and we endure certain things, but it's not as detrimental as it could be. So I just thank the Most High for mercy and grace that He's put upon us when we make certain decisions, or out of rash emotion sometimes. But just thank the Most High for that. I yield. HalaYah.
HalaYah. I'm gonna keep my hand up on this one. Shabbat shalom, Mishpachah. Giving all honor, glory, esteem to the Creator of heaven and earth, sees and all that there is. Giving honor to my actual Mishpachah. I have my aunt on the line. I have my brother on the line. So Shabbat shalom Nicole to you. Shabbat shalom to you. Thankful to have you on. There's really nothing else to say on that. My HalaYah for this portion is family, sticking with the same vein as everybody else. Just the life, the preservation thereof. There's a lot of things going on in this world that is snatching life without any remorse behind it. There's no really regard for life in this day and age now. So it's interesting. Okay. It's interesting to see what's going on around this world. And the Most High calls us to obviously go against the grain of whatever's going on. So we have to be strong and stay steadfast in everything that the Most High placed before us. Even in that aspect of losing that which we cherish most, which is life, But we are here today to honor and celebrate another Shabbat that we've made it through, another week. So we just want to keep that same vein and give all honor, glory, and esteem to His name. HalaYah, HalaYah, HalaYah.
Shakir, shalom, Shabbat shalom, Aki.
Shabbat shalom. Can y'all hear me?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Shabbat shalom. Good to be here with you guys. I appreciate the invite. Yoseph. Appreciate the love, the shout out. Definitely miss fellowshipping with y'all. I want to give all praise to the Most High. Just for where I'm at right now in my walk. Been learning a lot, been at home, just trying to learn how to be a good Abba to Messiah and a good Ish to Amaya and a good Ben to my Ima, the best that I can in my household. I'm the only man that's here right now. But I feel good. I want to give praise to the Most High because I've been able to work, have a humble job working and delivering like mail in the city. A lot of perspective that I've gained from working in a community that's full of Jewish people. I miss you too, Aki. I love you guys wholeheartedly. I pray that all is very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again with my with my daughter. I was gonna say I appreciate the Most High in this in part of my life. I'm in the Jewish community. I get a different perspective. I get to talk to different people to represent the kingdom in New York City. Um, it is a dark time right now, but I feel like we have to be a light, and that's I'm just trying to be a light and open-minded. Trying to get the prejudice and the hate out of my heart. If there is any. Um, but also like recently in this season, the Most High has it put me through like a really deep season of chastisement, just to take any leaven out of me, I guess I could say. So I just appreciate that because I know the Most High is doing these things to strengthen me, and I just appreciate that kind of love that I remember what Uziyahu said, if I said his name correctly, when the last time I was there with you guys, he was like, "Oh, I want you guys, the elders or the older Akis, to keep your foot on my neck," or like, like that kind of quote, that kind of reference. I never forgot that. That really resonated with me very deeply. So I just appreciate the Most High keeping his quote unquote his foot on my neck and making sure that he's like the Abba that we all need, the older, the ancient, the eternal, the eternal Abba, or the eternal man that is just there to always just make sure I'm on the right path, that he never forsaken me, never left me. And I'm just grateful for that honestly, that just genuine love that I get from the Father, from Abba. So yeah, that's my hallelujah. I love you guys. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm praying for everybody. One day we could come together, So shalom, shalom.
And shalom, shalom. There's the family there with you. Shabbat shalom to the Mishpachah there. I'm definitely would love to see y'all and that chunky baby of yours soon. So Todayah, definitely Todayah for the purging season. For a season of him directing us. Whether you I'm gonna say whether you want to go or not, because he's not gonna force anyone to go anywhere. Um, but if your heart is willing and you are truly seeking after him, then um, just expect him to light a path before you and have the faith to follow that path. So I just say Toda Rabah for him, showing that he is the creator and that he is the one that makes the decisions in the end for his children, just as a good father makes the decision in the end for his children. So I just say Toda Yah for his love, for his compassion, for his provision, for his protection, for all that he gives, even when we don't deserve it. So Toda Yah. Anyone else with the HalaYah? Shabbat Shalom. I'm guessing that's doctor, or is that's PR for her initials? Okay, all right. So it's Shabbat below a code dog. All right, if there are no more HalaYahs or any hallelujahs for praise to the Creator, we're going to have a joint HalaYah, and we're going to ask a Coach Tehillah to lead us in a couple songs of praise and worship. This Torah portion is quite long, but it don't matter. We're still going to praise our Creator because he deserves the praise before we get into his word. Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
And Coach Tehillah been very busy, y'all. So just in case y'all don't know, she's shy, but she's been quite busy on this clubhouse thing. She's moving in different directions. It's kind of hard to keep a tab on her from now. But go ahead, Coach.
That's because it's really been placed on my heart to like worship. So I will be singing a melody of songs clashed in together.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Okay. Our hearts cry, be magnified in this your holy temple, in this your holy place, and we will rise to Zion's heights to praise and glorify, unify. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship. Oh, yeah. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship. Oh, yeah. Our hearts cry, be magnified in this your holy temple, in this your holy place, and we will rise to Zion's heights to praise and glorify, unify. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship. Oh, yeah. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship. Oh, yeah. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Oh, nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Your name is above all names, and you're worthy of all praise. Mighty are the works of your hands. Your name is above all names, and you're worthy of all our praise. Mighty are the works of your hands. Mighty are the works of your hands. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. HalaYah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
HalaYah. HalaYah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, don't stop.
Okay, I can sing one more. Let's see. I didn't practice nothing else. Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. Intentional, intentional God. Everything is working out for my good. Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. You love me too much, oh, too much, oh, too much. Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. Intentional, intentional God. Everything is working out for my good. HalaYah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Torah Rabbah, Torah Rabbah. We can receive this. Hallelujah. Torah Rabbah, I thought to healer for you using the gift that the Most High is giving you to Barak, his set apart name, and to give everyone the ability to praise him through your voice. So Torah. So this Torah portion today will not be expounded upon by myself. It will be expounded upon by Yoseph in Lisimba. So please be active and asking questions and so on and so forth. This is quite a long portion, but we're gonna get through it together. I have it on the screen for those who do not have their books with them. This is Bereshit, commonly called Genesis, chapter 28, and we are starting at verse 10. This is Wayyetze, Wayyetze, which means and he left. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Yoseph. Hallelujah.
Okay, Torah about for the introduction, Madon. First and foremost, again, giving all honor and glory and esteem to the creator of heaven and earth, sees and know that there is. Pray that this word that goes forth is edifying, pleasing to the Most High's ears, and let not the words that has been spoken fall on dry ground, but he provides the water and the increase thereof. Hallelujah. Again, Torah about for the intro. Giving the Moray a break today. He's been laboring for a minute, so I'm thoroughly humbled to present this to you. First and foremost, Cain, the Torah portion is Wayyetze. I don't already expounded on what it means, but I actually wanted to backtrack real quick to give the backdrop on what we're actually talking about. So if we can proceed up to chapter 20, still in the same chapter, 28, but we want to start from the top just to get the backdrop real quick. Don't know Ezekiel.
Bereshit, commonly called Genesis chapter 28, starting at verse 1. And it reads, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And Yah Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Yaakov, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Yaakov's and Esau's mother.
Okay, pause right there. So I just wanted to give the quick backdrop. So this is a cause and effect moment that's going on right here, right? So the word that is used for to send off is the word for shalak, to send off. At verse 10, this is the act thereof. So when we go down to Wayyetze, this is Yaakov enacting the words and responsibilities that the father just bestowed upon him. So this is what it's looking like right now. Okay, we can so say. So
Verse 6.
no. Go ahead and get right into the Torah portion, which is verse 10.
Verse 10. And Yaakov went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the messengers of Yah ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahweh stood above it, and said, I am Yahweh, Elohim of Abraham thy father, and the El of Yitzchak, the land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of.
All right, pause right there, Don. So what can we gather real quick from just these verses spoken about real quick? You can just come off on mic if you don't have the hand function. Okay, everybody won't be shy today. That's fine.
The Most High is going to bless Yaakov as he did Abraham
Okay.
and Isaac.
Okay. That's like surface level. I take that though. I take that.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, you didn't have your hand up? Oh my goodness. All right. Let me expound. Oh no, Maisha. She had to cut there. So what's the significance of the ladder being shown there with the Malachim going to and fro?
My guess is that those Malachim, those angels, they're reporting to the Most High what's going on earth. That's what I take from that.
Kane, somebody speaking? Okay. Kane, I'll take that. Definitely take that. So one of the things that sticks out for me is the ladder and the road ahead, right? So we see that he's lodging in between a space, right? So in between this space of transition, I'll say, that's where he lays his head down, has a dream, there's a ladder before him, and Malachim are going to and fro on it, right? And then the Most High says what right after that? Almost a word of assurance, right? I'm the Elohim of your fathers. And I'll be blessing you throughout this whole entire transition process. So that assurance in between your transition period, that's why I thought it was interesting. Everybody was saying this is a purging time frame. So during those time frames that we have, those seasons that we go through, there should be a small window or a small moment where the Most High is talking to you, at least give you assurance that you'll be able to go through what you're about to go through. Okay? Okay. All right. Okay.
I have a question, not in regards to the latter, which definitely I see that as constantly there are supernatural things and supernatural beings on earth doing the doing of the Creator, right? But my question is more about verse 14. Can you read that again, Adon, real quick?
Verse 14. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
Okay. Are you going to touch on that, Adon?
I wasn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
That's a deep one right there. I already know.
well, if you're not okay. So, question. The Most High said in Deuteronomy 28, right there, I'm going to scatter you to the what?
Four corners of the earth.
But here, that doesn't seem like a curse, does it?
No, it seems like a blessing for the people that are.
So, it was a curse in Deuteronomy 28 that you go into the four corners of the earth. But in verse 14, the Most High is already telling you that your seed is going to be spread to the four corners of the earth for a blessing. So you were already going to the four corners of the earth. The only the two paths were you were going there for your destruction, or you were going to be there for the increases to the nation. So now that you are at the four corners of the earth due to Deuteronomy 28 and you being disobedient, now that you're waking up, now that you are awakened, now you are to be a blessing to the nations. Go ahead, okay. I'm
Cain, that was told bringer on that one or no? I wasn't going to touch that. I definitely did see that. That's going to be definitely a good topic for discussion later on. Okay, we can come sheet at this point.
And once again, for the family that's on, you can just come off mute if y'all have any questions. Please don't be shy. This is a
Classroom setting in a sense.
Yes, classroom setting, open dialogue. You do not have to just be silent. We are not preaching. We are having a conversation with someone leading the conversation, which is sorry yourself. HalaYah.
Verse
15.
And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Yaakov will wake out of his sleep, and he said, Surely Yahuwah is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, How dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of El, and this is the gate of heaven. And Yaakov rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first.
Pause right there, though. I want to ask a quick question. What does the word lutz actually mean in the Hebrew? For you all Hebrew scholars out there.
It means an almond tree.
Mm.
It has other definitions, but the main is almond tree.
Okay, can. I'll take almond tree. So why would the place of where the Most High revealed this revelation to Yaakov, he placed a marker or a memorial, which would be the stone, as the what's the word I'm looking for? The visual to remember this place. And it's called Bethel, the house of El, but original name was Luz, which would mean almond tree. What's the significance of that, an almond tree? That's my question, right? So I want to go to a couple of scriptures real quick and see if we can expand a little bit on these almonds. So first I want to go to the book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 9.
Midbar, commonly called Numbers chapter 17, starting at verse 9. And it reads, and Moshe brought out of all the rods from before Yahweh unto all the children of Israel, and they looked and took every man his rod. And Yah said unto Moshe, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, and thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me, that they died not. And Moshe did so as Yah had commanded him, so did he.
Oh, speak out, my apologies. Go to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Speak out.
And it came to pass that on the morrow Moshe went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds, and blossoms, and yielded almonds.
Okay, pause right there. Speak out for that. So I want to go to the book of Shemot, commonly called Exodus. Chapter 25, 33.
Shemot, commonly called Exodus, chapter 25, starting at verse 33. And it reads, 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knot and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knot and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick.
Okay, pause right there. So this is the making of the menorah, and it's describing the same thing as these almonds. So Most High showing, I'm like, what is the significance of these almonds, right? So let's go with the Nabi. Let's see what the prophet said in the book of Yirmiyahu, commonly called Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 11. Okay. So I first said Numbers, chapter 17, verse 8. Let's look up verse 9. 25, 33. Now we're going to be going to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 11. Try to keep the Hebrew at a minimum. Verse 11. No, 1:11. Jeremiah 1:11.
All right. The book of Yirmiyahu, commonly called Jeremiah, chapter 1, starting at verse 11. Moreover, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Yirmiyahu, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then Yah said unto me, thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. And the words of Yah came unto me the second time, saying, what? Okay.
So what I've seen with the almond tree, this is a moment of watching, almost like the watchers at the gates. So this is the importance, at least for my sake, of how the almonds play a part in the actual house of Bethel. So just like how you have a house constructed, or in a sense, a kingdom constructed, you have your watchmen at the gates. So at this point where Yaakov is at, you see the ladder going up to and fro. This is at the gate going into the house of the Most High. That's the watch point also for the Most High's house. So just like how you have watchmen for the house of Jerusalem, how you have watchmen for the house of your own house, same concept would apply. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay. Let's return back to Bereshit chapter 29, verse 1. We have, huh? Say again? Oh, we didn't finish up? Okay. Got a question?
Yeah. Okay. So in verse 19, right? You said that lose means what?
Almond tree.
Okay. So lose means almond tree. That's a noun version of it. But lose also means, which we know the Hebrew, most of the roots, if not 100% of the roots, are all verbs. So when you're dealing with the verb lose, it means to depart from, to go wrong, to be lost from view. So how was, he said, surely this is the abode of Yah, and I did not know it. So it was Bethel, but he did not know it. So how did the house of El become lost from view? How is it that, and this is bringing it all to 2022, right? It's not just Jacob. How do you miss where the Creator resides at? If Yah's in a place, how do you not know it?
You not to see, or it could be your sin causing you not to see.
Or you forgot your father's house. This is also Jacob. Remember, this is Jacob. It's not Esau. It's Jacob. Jacob. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no. I'm gonna let you build. In this act right here, one thing that kind of points out to me is, gather my thought. One thing that kind of points out to me is that, yes, we are definitely talking about Jacob, but I think all those factors have to be accounted for as well. Where he came from, whose house he was under, and we also have to understand as a culture and a people, we have to build a relationship with the Elohim as well. That's why this walk is so important, to go forth on your own, because it could have been a point in his life to where his family could have been in a way for him to see the Creator at that point. And we're going to see, and I'm glad you brought that out, because there's a couple of points in here where it's like, Yaakov, how come you didn't recognize this? Or how come you didn't see this? Or how come this was, what's the word I'm looking for? Darkened to you. It's not so much that it's hidden, it's just darkened from you at that moment in time. So it could be a situation where it may not be your time to see what you're supposed to see. Henceforth, the season that you may have to go through has to be some form of unveiling to you. Just thoughts.
I wasn't talking to the people. I was talking to Yoseph. My fault, y'all. Go ahead.
I would say that Yaakov, he got a little bit lost into a different world, you know. So it got to a point where I was speaking with my sister about this. He had to get literally the boot out of the world that he was in to go find his way back to where the Most High was, or you know, who he needed to be. So he got kicked, like literally kicked out with the Most High. He couldn't reside with Laban anymore. So he had to leave. He had to be uncomfortable, and he got lost. He lost himself.
When he got to Laban.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shlika,
We're gonna get there. We definitely gonna get there.
All right, so
Promise,
but
I promise.
he's on his way. He's on his way to his uncle's house. Okay, all right. So remember, the question was, how did you not know that you were in the house of El? Right. So, sorry if you don't have anything. Can he listen? I'm just here for. I'm just here.
Emotional support. I got you. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, I got nothing else at this point. Torah Rabbah. I enjoy this midrash. We can definitely Tosif at this point. Lo. We'll finish at 19.
Verse 20. And Yaakov vowed a vow, saying, if El will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahweh be my El. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be Yahweh's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. HalaYah.
Yeah, pause right there real quick. I had a quick question. So in our transitions in life, do we set up some form of memorial to commemorate those points in our lives, to look back upon and be like, you know what? I remember the vow that I vowed to the Elohim that have brought me out of whatever situation, right? So we're gonna see, and I'm gonna ask that question again later. Yeah, I'll ask that question again later. Do we set up memorials when the Most High opens and closes chapters in our lives? I'm gonna say it like that, and I'm gonna yield, and we're gonna continue. Oh my God.
No, I just got a question. Just got a question. All right. He said this. Remember, the question was, how do you not, how are you in the house of El, in the presence of El, and you do not know that it is away from your view? And he just answered that question, because in verses 20 and 21, can you read those again very quickly? And then we're gonna go. We got all day.
And Yaakov vowed a vow, saying, if El will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahweh be my El.
He said, Wayyetze Yahweh li le Elohim. Then he shall be my Elohim. So there's a difference between being in the presence of God and being in the presence of your God. If he's not your God and you just know of him, right? He was in the tents of Abraham. Abraham is his grandfather. So he was with him for 15 years. Then he was with Isaac for however long that he was there. So they're telling him about the El of Abraham, right? He said, I am the El of Abraham, I am the El of Isaac. Remember, even the creator didn't say, I am your El, or I am your God. He said, I'm the God of Abraham, I'm the God of Isaac, I don't know you yet. So even if your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather, so on and so forth, all the way back to Abraham, you can be in a lineage of righteousness, but him as the creator is still not your God, because you have not experienced him, which is why you don't know where he is. So when he introduces himself to you, now you're like, oh my goodness, this been God the whole time? Then that's when you set up the memorial that Yoseph is talking about, because now this is the beginning of my journey. And I'm gonna stop. Go ahead, Aki.
No, you're good. Which also beckons the question now, how do you, which we're going to see later, how do you get to that point where the Most High says that now I know you? But we won't find that out until a theater near you. We're going to see.
Chapter 29, verse 1. Then Yaakov went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east.
Pause right there. So I know we just got into chapter 29, but I wanted to point something out. Yep. So you already see it. So that aspect of lifting up your feet, right? The word that is there is nasa. So I just quickly wanted to pull a verse out, and that's going to be Genesis, Bereshit chapter 4, verse 13.
chapter 4, verse 13. And Cain said unto Yahuwah, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
So the same word that is used for this punishment that I cannot bear, that can bear, slika, that's the same word used at this point for Nasa. So whatever he's about to embark on, that journey on, this is very, very, very weighty for him. So we already understand the charge that was given to him from his Abba. We already understand the assurement that the Most High just gave him. So now he's about to embark on this journey that you can almost feel the weight and the gravity thereof of this responsibility that he's about to embark on. There are other scriptures that touch on that, but for the sake of time, I'm going to yield those, and we're going to proceed.
And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. And Yaakov said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. And he said unto them, know ye Laban, the son of Nachor? And they said, we know him. And he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel, his daughter, cometh with the sheep. And he said, lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, we cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep.
Hold right there. What do y'all get from that quick portion right there in regards to the sheep dwelling at the well, waiting for the stone of the mouth of the well to be removed? What do y'all pick up from that?
They're blessed. That's what
I can pick that up.
provision, nourishment.
But when did the mouth of the well have to be opened? When I don't want to get the answer too early. Anybody else got anything? Okay. So one of the things I see is the well of the mouth was open when all the sheep were gathered there. When all the sheep were there, that is when nourishment was abode upon you. And when I see this, I see family, I see congregation. If we are scattered abroad, or even if we have majority of people there, but yeah, we're just missing a small flock, the well won't be opened. All of the flock have to be there in order for the well mouth to be open, so everyone can thrive. And then the well mouth will be closed. Just thoughts, quick thoughts. What you got, Maura? I see you thinking over there.
I see that, but then I also see that somebody else is controlling the nourishment of the sheep. Somebody's controlling, and this is not the shepherd, because the shepherds are supposed to feed and water the flock, right? Okay. So these shepherds are being prevented, or are being prevented from watering and feeding their own flock until somebody else says so. Which is why Jacob does what he does in a few seconds. He's not waiting for all of that.
Okay, absolutely. We can definitely build on that.
I'll stop there.
Come see for Torah.
Verse 9. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Yaakov saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Yaakov went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Yaakov kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Yaakov told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Ribkah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Yaakov, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Yaakov, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Yaakov loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Yaakov served 7 years for Rachel.
Pause right there, Don. Sorry about. So quite a bit just went on. I'll say customarily, just to kind of build customarily as far as Israel is concerned, that enactment of kissing, that's just a form of embrace, deep embrace. That way people don't get it twisted. Laban says something that's interesting here. It says, you are a bone of my bone. When he has said to him, oh yeah, it went up. I'll get it. Okay. And Laban said to him, you are a bone of my bone, truly bone of my bone, when he has stayed with him a month time. So that same wording, of course, we see in Genesis chapter 3, that bone of my bone, that's just that connectivity of understanding this is me right here. Trying to figure out how deep I need to go with that, but okay. Yeah, this is me right here. This is literally the fam right here. So as we go down, it's almost fitting for Laban to give Rachel to, he wouldn't be able to give his daughter to anybody else at this point. But I want to touch on their names real quick because the names are important. I talk to Maisha all the time about that. Names, locations, things like that that the Most High points out in the scripture, they are extremely vital. So the name of Leah, can anybody tell me what that name means?
Shalom, tender-eyed.
Shabbat Shalom, a Coke winner, seeing you on there. I don't know who iPhone is. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat. Weary, Kane. Raquel. Keep those names in mind, by the way. We're going to revisit them a little bit later. Iwu, which is a what? It's like a female goat, a female lamb. It's like a female lamb. So that's what an Iwu is, a female lamb. So we're going to touch on those names real quick a little bit later. I just wanted to introduce that right now at this point.
Coach Gwyneth said something about weak eyes or tender eye. What does that mean?
So the tender eyes, most people say that she cried a lot. She was very, what's the word I want to use? Sob in the face. She was very emotional in a sense. A lot of people say that. While Raquel was more confident, even though that they were twins, she was more confident, even more so boasting in her attitude. And you can see it in her face, basically. So just like in 2022, where you can see the imaging of people's face, the expressions of how they carry themselves and their character in their face, same enactment here. I see my aunt. Shabbat shalom to you.
I heard that it meant the ugly one. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't say she was ugly because they were twins, so they look the same. I don't know about, but I wouldn't say she was ugly, but I would definitely toss that as far as her character is concerned. But Maisha, go ahead.
Worshiper.
You may have to speak a little louder than that.
Maybe she was a worshiper. Maybe it was easy for her to cry to the Creator.
A worshiper. Actually, I want to hold fast to that. So as far as Laban's house, we have to understand that his house was a house of idol worship too. Let's keep that in mind while we're still going through this journey in Yaakov's life. His house is a house of worship of idols. So as Yaakov comes there, you're going to see a lot of things transpire in Laban's house, where you clearly see that the Most High is the living Elohim, not something that's created by man's hands. So let's keep that in mind as well as we're going forth through this. Where do we stop at, Don?
I just want, so she wasn't the ugly one, right? She was, the word there for tender-eyed is rock or rat, which means tender, soft, delicate, weak of heart, timid, soft of words, gentle. So when it's talking about Leah, she's the more spiritually inclined one. So it has nothing to do with her physical appearance. I know Raquel is seen as shapely and beautiful, right? And it's pointing out the attributes that they're known for. So Raquel is known for her beauty. Leah is known because she always crying. So and just to wrap it up, so the same word that's used there for weak eyes is used in the book of Deuteronomy when it talks about the man that is tenderhearted who can't go to war. So because he's tenderhearted and he's soft, the Most High tells him that he can't go to war. So it's the same word. It has nothing to do with physical appearance. Leah was equally as beautiful as Raquel because obviously something happens a little bit later, which sorry to get into. Somebody else PR. So she might have to come closer to the mic because we can't hear.
Who's talking?
Don.
Cousin Don, did you have any comments?
Oh, I just got back in. I had a call. I took a call and I just now. Are you hearing me, Marcus?
Can we hear you? Shabbat shalom. How you
Yes,
doing?
I just had I had a call, so I was out for a couple minutes. So I don't know exactly where we are right now.
Oh, okay. So we're in the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 20. And it's good to hear you, of course.
I know. Okay. Let me see. I wasn't even close to the Bible. So what was the question or what was the discussion?
So the discussion was talking about Leah and her being tender in her eyes and Raquel. And we were just expounding on what that means. It wasn't really much of a physical appearance in that act. It was more of the character of the person. Mori Dawood eloquently brought out that she was more spiritual in her heart. And the same word that is used there for her character is also the same word used in Deuteronomy in regards to the males that's supposed to go to war. If they're tender-hearted, if they're tender in heart, they're not going out to war. So that's okay. That's what the Mori brought out. So we're going to go forward from here. We're in verse
Genesis
29:20. If I could ask also, if we can, when the word goes forth, we can mute up. That way there's no background, anything like that. Yeah, we got that.
Verse 29, verse 20. And Yaakov served 70 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Yaakov said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also, for the service which thou shalt serve with thee, yet 7 other years. And Yaakov did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also.
Pause right there. How y'all feel about that? Think he got what we consider in today's term, he got jerked around? He got bamboozled?
Yeah, he got bamboozled. That's me.
Mm.
Imagine waking up in bed with another woman. You know what I'm saying? And you really didn't even know. I don't know how, but you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give him benefit of the doubt.
You don't know that's the wife you don't know that's like your wife? That's like, how you get that mixed up?
It must have been real dark. They had no candles lit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, said something interesting. Go ahead, Maura. Oh,
Bora had it first.
Maybe he was just having too much fun, drinking too much. He didn't tell what he was doing.
Or just a thought. Maybe they are really, really twins. Identical twins, which is how you know that Leah was nothing to sneeze at. So if, for example, right, take this scenario, close your eyes, take this scenario. You have twins, both of them are extremely beautiful, right? And I'm the father, and I want my older daughter to get married before my younger daughter. So I tell Leah, listen, go in there, don't say nothing. Don't say anything. Handle your business, and you married. Jacob, matter of fact, you can look on TikTok and stuff like that, where there are twins, right? And they play a joke on their significant other, where they don't say anything, they go in there, they kiss them on the cheek, hey baby, so on and so forth, and they leave. And then the twin comes right out in a different color shirt, and it kind of just messes up her mind. That's what you're thinking about then. It's not drinking, because if one is extremely beautiful and she's like 5'8", and then you got one that's 6'4", short hair. Like if they were extremely different physically, there's no way that this works. No way.
Can I share something here?
Yes, Mom.
Okay, so how I look at it is just the part that he played on his brother was actually played back on him. You know, it took from his brother the birthright, and he fooled the father into believing that he was Esau, and it's the same trick that was ended up played back on him.
Again, it could be a situation where it could be a reap what you sow moment. Could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I waited patiently, and she stole my whole answer. But no, it's
Y'all in the
definitely
same vein. That's good.
the
That's good.
same dynamic of
Yes.
what Jacob did. So it's a sleight of the hand. He did the sleight of the hand, and the Most High basically showed him what that looked like.
Yeah, what it
So
feels
you
like.
know,
What it
the Most
feels
High
like.
is very awesome with how he does things.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna stay with that same vein. I'm staying that same vein. So with that being said, so I actually wrote a question down, and just a thought, right? Do you think Yaakov's life is surrounded by deceit? And if so, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, you want to speak up?
It's how he started out his journey.
Mm.
I do feel like that's how he started out his journey. And the Most High still showed him how he made everything work out for his good.
Yeah,
Kind of like
because
how we do certain things. And however our journey is, the Most High still shows us that he's still working it out for our good based on our character and how we move.
Mm. Okay, Torah about for you, but
I would say,
got some double food.
I would say that on the surface level, from a perspective of, just for man, it does seem that way. But if we read the scripture, we can see how everything worked out for his benefit. And then also I think about the situation with Yoseph or Joseph. His brothers, they wanted to kill him. They sold him into slavery. But however, it worked out. And in the end, not only did it work out for Joseph, but it also worked out for his Mishpachah as well. So from the surface level, it does seem that, but if you look at the spiritual aspect, it works out,
Okay, Torah about that. Moray, got anything? We good. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
That was a great question. As far as if his life is surrounded by deception, I mean, it would definitely seem that way. But he's never the one who he's never the one that initiates the deception. When he was at home, that was his mom's fault. Here, it's Laban. Later, it's his two sons. So, or all of his sons two sons at one point, and then all of his sons at another point. So it's like his life is surrounded by it, but it's never him.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, though.
My response is gonna be it's kind of good and bad. When we look at deceit, it has a negative connotation.
Mhm.
But I don't think we realize, what negative can do in your life as far as, keeping you near unto the Most High, keeping you, prostrated and keeping you humble. It has its pros and its cons, but I think, sometimes negativity can force you into positivity. If you're looking at it from a different lens, or looking at it from a spiritual perspective, so that's my response. I yield.
Okay. I would I'm agreeing with everyone actually. What spoke out to me was through the deception with surrounding his life, he was kind of like the victim of it. Maury kind of stole it from me a little bit. He never was the one to actually do the deception, right? He was just a victim of it. And in doing so, things transpired in his life, right? That's why I kind of asked that question initially, like, how do you go about life sometimes and not know? It could be some things to where, again, they're not revealed to you at that moment in time until it's that time, until that season is done and over with, right? I said in the beginning, we're talking about chapters that are being opened and chapters that are being closed. We're gonna see that a little bit later. But here I'm like, man, this brother's life is just completely engulfed in deceit. But it's like, I hear what Ma'ak is saying about the good and the bad, but from whose perspective now? That's my question. For you, it might seem bad, but for the grand plan, it's all good, if that makes sense. Especially in this case here, when we see Jacob's life and the and the blessing that was already bestowed upon him in Genesis chapter 28, but we're going to read that a little bit later, actually coming up here shortly. Maury, I seen you come on, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always all good. There's no need for you to defend yourself if you're with the Creator. The Creator always defends you. He always looks out for you, right? Romans, all things work out for the good of those who love Yah and keep his commandments. And who are called according to his purpose. Right? So Jacob, he never really defends himself in any of these situations. The Most High always gives him instructions on how to move. And then he follows the instructions and everything works out great. So are you defending yourself when people deceive you? I don't know. Y'all can't hear me? Are you defending yourself? Hold on. Are you defending yourself when things seem to happen? Or are you waiting for the Creator to let you know how to respond, how to move forward? Because that's going to be the difference between things working out for your good or things taking an even greater turn toward your destruction. Hamshikaki.
Tamshi.
Verse 20. And Yaakov served 7 years for Raquel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had for her.
27.
Fast forward, verse 27. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also, for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. And Yaakov did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave them Raquel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Raquel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Raquel, and he loved also Raquel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when Yah saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Raquel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely Yah hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, because Yah hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Shimon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing.
Yeah. So we're going to run through the Yeladim being brought forth. Then I'm going to ask a question. So, Tamshi, just want to get the backdrop real quick on what we're about to do.
Chapter 30, verse 1. And when Raquel saw that she bare Yaakov no children, Raquel envied her sister, and said unto Yaakov, give me children, or else I die. And Yaakov's anger was kindled against Raquel, and he said, I am in Yah's seed, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go into her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to wife, and Yaakov went in unto her, and Bilhah conceived and bare Yaakov a son. And Raquel said, Yah hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called his name Dan. And Bilhah, Raquel's maid, conceived again, and bare Yaakov a 2nd son. And Raquel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her Yaakov to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Yaakov a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh. And she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Yaakov a 2nd son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
Okay. A lot of reading. Pause right quick, just to give you a break. Just to kind of give the backdrop on what the Most High showed me, right? So we're looking at the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. And yeah, so we're looking at the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel right here, right? One thing that kind of jumps out to me, because I wanted to search something out a little bit differently from our traditional view, right? And what the Most High showed me was what you consider seasons. So we got 4 seasons, right? And I'm looking at the names and I'm searching out and I'm like, what is so significant about these times, right? So we got Leah, and we already identified her name as being weary, right? So it says what? In her affliction, that's when she received her first child. So I wanted to go to the book of 1 Samuel, right? Chapter 1. Starting at verse 9, going through 11, and then we're going to jump down. 1 Samuel, no, you good. 1 Samuel chapter 1, my bad. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 9 through 11. We're going to start right there, and then we're going to jump down. So I just want to paint the picture real quick on Leah and how significant she is, and then we're going to obviously branch off to the other Ishas here.
1 Samuel chapter 1, or Shemuel Rishon chapter 1, starting at verse 9. So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of Yah, and she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto Yah, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yah of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thy handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto Yahuwah all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before Yah, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had become drunken.
You know what? We can actually, for time's sake, we'll jump down to verse 19 and 20.
Verse 19. And they rose up in the morning early and worshiped before Yahweh, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and Yahweh remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about, after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Shemuel, saying, because I have asked him of Yah. And the man Elkanah, okay.
So the same enactment played out here, where you have one that's not being so much favored. She's getting afflicted, mocked in many cases here. And the Most High hears her plea, hears her cry, right? So a lot of times for the woman, you'll see that the cry out will invoke your womb being open. This is for the woman. And the reason why I say it's seasonal for me is because during this time of worry for us as the children of Israel, we should be beckoned to get to a point of where we're crying out, to when we're wanting seed to be brought forth in our life, right? So in those time frames of weary, we should be crying out to the Creator for seed to be brought forth. And then what? The Most High should hear you, and you should hear the Creator during that time frame in this season, which will do what? Cause a bridge, or cause a form of relationship between 1 and 2. Whether it be man and man or man and Elohim. And at the end of that, there should be celebration to be praised upon, coming forth from your mouth. But there's also a season where you have trouble, which is the name for Bilhah, where you have judgment, and you'll also be wrestling, whether it be wrestling with yourself, tussling and bustling, trying to figure out what's going on in your life. And then you also have times of trickle, which is Zilpah. And you'll have that steady stream, I'll say, of happiness and good fortune. But then we're going to get to Raquel here shortly and see what's going on with that. Does anybody have any questions thus far or even have their thoughts on the children of Israel as we're going forth. Those are just my thoughts.
Wait, anybody else? I know that the aunts and cousins, they just unmute, so I didn't know if they was gonna unmute. So Leah, right? This is so first and foremost, what is the difference between love and hate? Right? Because we hear that Yaakov hated Leah. Yaakov hated Leah, loved Raquel. What does that mean? What is the difference between love and hate? I mean, Martin said it's a thin line between, I'm just playing because ain't nobody talking to me, so I'm just gonna act a fool. But anyway, all right. So culturally, right? Love, and it's just common sense. Love is going to make you draw near to whatever you love. Whatever you love, you're going to be near. Somebody wrote in the chat. One attracts, one pushes away. Exactly, Hadassah. Oh, Shabbat Shalom, by the way. Wonder why you're here. Anyway, just play, mess with Shy. One attracts, one pushes people away. So love is going to bring you together. Hate is going to push you apart. So when it says that he that he loved Raquel, he hated Leah. He just didn't spend as much time with Leah as he was when that was his only Isha. So now, right, as you see, her first 4 children are born, and the names that he's given, she's looking for love while creating that which is going to love her. Children are, especially mama's boys, they are going to draw and be so close to their mother. But she doesn't want that love. She wants the love that only Yaakov can get. She doesn't even want the love or see the love that the Creator is giving. So a lot of times in our life, we are looking for something else when the Creator has already given us that in a different form. And once you actually accept that which he has given you in a different form, then he will give you that which you wanted in another form. So she wanted the love of Yaakov. I'm going to give you children. So then now the children are going to be that which is always around you, that which is going to be caring for you, that which is going to be nurturing for you. And the Creator is opening up your womb. So you should be thanking the Creator, and you should be loving on your children. And then once she gets to Yehuda, right, which is why this time I will praise Yah. Now I understand I'm going to praise Yah for the love that he's showing me. That's when now. And by the way, Jacob had 7 children with this woman, so it wasn't like he just put her in a room and locked her up. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times in our life, right, what you can take from this, or what you should take from this, is where is the Creator showing you that which you are looking for? Can you see it? From the beginning, remember, Jacob couldn't see the house of El because he didn't experience it. Now she's not looking for the love because she can't experience it. I'm just throw it to you. Go ahead. I'll toss it back.
Good alley, good alley. So I wanted to ask a question, which is kind of perfect because Amora is already bringing it out. So my question was going to be, did it, and that it can be anything, right? Did it turn out the way you expected or the way that you needed it? So kind of in the same vein, right? I was going to ask that question a little bit later on, but I think it's appropriate now to ask that question. And we see that a lot of times we may go through life with the notion or expectation of, if we get a word from the Most High and we go forth and carry it out, we may carry it out in our minds and have that picture. All right, okay, this is how the picture is going to be. I'm going to go to my father's house. I'm going to get myself an Isha. We're going to roll out. We're going to do big things, right? We're going to just do it big. And then something like this happens to where you get derailed or you feel like you've been beguiled. But the Most High already told you, dang it, try not to get too, the Most High already told you that you're going to be numerous. Your family is going to be spread abroad. How can that happen? Let me not limit the Creator. I was going to say something. But in this plan right here, we see that, again, going back, the Creator has his hand in all of this. And we're going to see a little bit later as we go along. And I'm gonna say it like that, and when we pass the buck, oh, we got another alley. I bet.
One more question, Slockley. Why do you want to bear fruit? Okay. Yes, but I hope you're not eating your children. But no, well, I'll just play like no. Fruit in a general context. I was just messing with you because you answered. But no,
Can I answer again, please?
yeah, go ahead, Aki.
So they can, help you.
Okay,
Be
Ken.
help to you.
So they can help you, so you can eat it if you're talking about fruit from a tree, right? But the question is centered around, why did these women want to bear fruit?
To be loved.
To get Jacob's love.
To be loved, right? And it turned into a what?
Competition.
Yeah.
It turned into a competition. So it went from, I want love and I want a family, to now, I just want to have more children than you. So then, go ahead, yo.
No.
Okay, so so then now my thought becomes, why do you want to produce fruit? Are you doing it to glorify the Creator, or are you doing it because you want to outshine somebody else? So, well, he has this, so I'm gonna get this, or she's doing this, so I'm gonna do this. Are you having competition, which is the 12 tribes of Israel were born through competition. They were born through hate for one another. This is, and your intentions when you plant the seed is going to be the fruit that is reaped from it. So if you planted the seed with hate in your heart, don't be upset when you produce fruit that has hate in it. So this is how Israel is today. We are competing and trying to bear fruit only not for the glory of Yah, but just for us. We're only doing it for us. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Great point. I want to. This is funny. So with everything that the Mori just brought out, here's how interesting the Most High is. So I want to take us to the book of Ruth, right? Chapter 4:11. So despite the competition, this is what the Most High did. This is interesting. Ruth 4:11.
Ruth, chapter 4, verse 11. And it reads.
Oh, hold on one second. He's pulling up right here. Okay, tell me.
And all the people that were in the gates and the elders said, we are witnesses that Yahweh make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephrathah, and be famous in Bethlehem.
So pause right there. So despite what was just brought out, despite the squabbling, despite the competition, despite all of that, again, the Most High has already established this. This is something to be looked upon by the elders as honor and weighty, praising this enactment. So yeah, you can have your squabble, you can have all of this and all of that, but at the end of the day, the Most High has his hand upon it. It's going to flourish. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. This right here was the actual building of the house of Yisrael through their squabbling. Akota already brought it out in the chat. They were fighting. They literally threw their brother in a cave because of squabbling, because of jealousy. But Adon Shashemar already brought out, because of that act that they did by tossing that one brother in the cave, saved their life in the end. You never know.
Can I drop in here?
Tom sheet for them. Tom sheet.
But don't
Somebody's talking.
Somebody's talking?
Go ahead,
Oh,
Mama
oh,
Don. Go ahead.
Yeah, but don't you think that the Almighty could have had another way of doing it? All this stems from the after effect of the deception, and God has a way of doing things. I mean, it already set and it already went forth, and he would guard it accordingly in order for his plan to go through. But this is not how he had planned it. This is not how he wanted it. He would have, you see, because we think that we can help God in certain things, but God has a way of doing things. And probably all these, why there's this fight and this squabble and this struggle throughout, is because of the deceptions that took place. And this is my take on it.
Understand. We've had conversations about that. I do remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, Marcus.
In regards to the grand plan of the Most High, right? And I asked the general question back in the day. I was like, so who was supposed to be the firstborn of Yisrael, right? Of Kol Yisrael. Just a thought. I said Yoseph, based on the original plan that Yoseph had in his mind to receive a wife, which he loved, which was Rachel. Rachel was Yoseph was the firstborn of Rachel. But we see later on, I try not to get too far, but we see later on that he received the firstborn blessing regardless of what happened, right? So I would ask the question, did the Most High's plan get derailed or so it's just, so I don't want to say we're getting to a point of speculating, but we can see that it doesn't matter what we do, that the Most High's plan is still going to go forth, no matter what. It doesn't matter what we do. We may think that we're intervening. We may do things that may be raw for you. That's why I said it's perceptive. It's your perception of what that looks like. Going back to what I already brought out, it being good and bad. But more already brought out, it's all good in the eyes of the Most High. But great point, great dialogue thus far.
I think we go all the way back to its choice, you know. It's what we choose to do. It's the free will that was given to us, you know. And it went all the way back, if we look at it, all the way back to heaven, when he was perfectly made, but he chose. I'm speaking about the arch enemy Lucifer. He chose. God did not. God laid out before us. He made everything, but in order for us to fulfill freedom of choice, we must have opposites. But he didn't tell us. He didn't tell us. He even go further and mention that, you know, to choose good and live. He told us that much. But in order for us to exercise that free will, there must be a platform of opposites. And I think we brought out this last night as well, Marcus. So it's not that he wants us to choose the bad, but in order for us to exercise free will, there must be, like I said, a platform of opposites.
Okay, definitely picking that up. Torah about for your words. Okay, we're in the book of Bereshit, commonly called Genesis, chapter 30, starting at verse 18. Start off by picking that up.
Verse 18. And Leah said, Yah hath given me hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again and bare Yaakov the sixth son. And Leah said, Elohim hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah. And Yah remembered Rachel, and Elohim hearkened to her and opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son and said, Yah have taken away my reproach. And she called his name Yoseph and said, Yahweh shall add to me another son. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Yoseph, that Yaakov said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go into my own place and to my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry. For I have learned by experience that Yahweh have blessed me for thy sake.
Hold on 1 second ago. Pause right there. Verse 27. Pull it up. What it say, Adon?
And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry. For I have learned by experience that Yahweh have blessed me for thy sake.
So that word that's there, I know Don can actually put them a little star thingy right there. But I see that. That's talking about Laban is seek favor by Jacob's presence being there. We've seen this before already. This already played out before within his forefathers. And again, it's going back to what was already talked about. When you're walking with Elohim, walking in righteousness, those people that are around you are just going to be blessed because of the acts of what you're doing. So I wanted to go somewhere real quick, right? Let's go to the book of Tehillim, commonly called Psalms. We're going to stay there real quick. I promise we're gonna get through this. So Tehillim, commonly called Psalms, chapter 5, verse 6.
Tehillim, commonly called Psalms, chapter 5, starting at verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship toward thy set apart temple.
Pause right there. Go to the chapter 36. Same book.
Chapter 36.
Verse 3.
Starting at verse 3. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed, and he setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil.
Okay, drop down to 10 through 12. Finish that up.
Oh, continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise.
All right. Last one. Last one. 43 and 1. Just one.
(43 and 1).
Oh, you wanna pause real quick, let them catch up? You sure? Okay. So in the book of Psalms, chapter 43, verse 1.
Judge me, O Yah, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man, for thou art the Elohim of my strength. Why doest thou cast me off?
That's good right there, though. Torah. So I just wanted to illustrate real quick, right? You may have those that are doing you wrong, doing you deceitful, plotting against you. Bringing that to 2022, right? That's a daily, right? That's a daily walk. You just going out, you're going out and you're coming in. You're always going to have the enemies at your back. And it could be multiple reasons behind that. Testing, trying for you, as well as these scriptures also being enacted as well, right? What you should do as a person that's seeking the Most High continuously is to lean on him, regardless of what's going on. Despite how hard it is, despite what's going on, you continuously lean on the Creator. So just a couple of assurance words there. And we're going to see how the Most High deals with these deceivers as we're going through this text as well. Again, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? What's going on right now at this point? Good morning. I see the wheels turning. Oh, go ahead. I already. I was going to ask the question, but I was like, I don't know if that. I was going to ask, did LeBron get? I said LeBron. Did LeBron get revelation from the Most High when he said this? Did he actually get this? What did it say? What did it say again, Adon? Bereshit 30:27.
And LeBron said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahuwah have blessed me for thy
Learned by
sake.
experience, huh? That's like somebody coming up to me like, yo, don't leave. Don't do this, don't do that. You know, Most High, or they'll say, God said that, you know, we're gonna make millions of money together. Just chop it up, just stay a little while. Like, did he really? Did the Most High really say that? Just thoughts. I don't know if that's where the Moria was going. And I'm like,
No, well, he said I have learned through experience in the version that Adon read, right? On Sepharia, it says I have learned by divination. And the word there for divination is nakash, which is the same word that you read, of course, in the famous Genesis chapter 3, when it's talking about the serpent in the garden. So the serpent spoke to them, right? Or the one that was practicing divination spoke to Eve in the garden. This is the exact same word. So now when you think about, well, we're not gonna go there, but just understand that the word nakash as a noun means serpent, but as a verb, it means to practice divination. So was it a serpent or was it one that was practicing divination? Okay. And we can go from there.
and just one last note before we go forward. Just remember that this is a house of this is a house where they're practicing worshiping other idols. Just want to keep that in mind. Laban's household, everything he got going on, they are practicers of worshiping other Elohims. And we're going to continuously see that, which is, okay. And we, sorry, I lost my train of thought. And we're going to see that, actually, let me backtrack. We see that Leah starts to build a relationship with the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. We see that, right? But we're going to see something soon. I'm gonna say it like that. But Cousin Dawn, you had your you came on mute.
Yeah, I muted myself now. But I'm here listening.
Okay, can we can proceed. Tom sheet for them.
Verse 28. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was little which thou hadst before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And Yah have blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for my own house also? And he said, what shall I give thee? And Yaakov said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Everyone that is not speckled and spotted amongst the goats, and brown amongst the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he goats that were ring-straked and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and everyone that had some white in it, and all the brown amongst the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey between himself and Yaakov. And Yaakov fed the rest of Laban's flocks. And Yaakov took him rods of green poplar, and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and peeled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods.
Okay, I was right there, though. What y'all see going on right here? In a nutshell, what's going on? Did the Most High tell him to do this? Most High told him to take these branches and put them in the water?
In Yaakov's wisdom, the Most High was with him and blessed the work of his hands through his wisdom.
Okay. Do you think it was appropriate for
What was the answer?
the answer? Oh, go ahead and repeat yourself, though.
Oh, I said I didn't tell Yaakov to do this, but through Yaakov's wisdom, the Most High still blessed the work of his hands.
No.
Okay. I can definitely understand that. We're going to see something a little bit later. This is a very, very interesting topic. Very much open for debate and discussion. But the biggest thing that kind of jumps out at me was the fact that as soon as Raquel got pregnant and conceived, he wanted to leave. In his mind, and it's just me speaking, in his mind, the mission was complete. Because again, going back to the original thought that he had, he seen Raquel, loved Raquel, they bore a child, mission's done, time to go. Or was it? Going back to that question, did it turn out the way we expected, or the way that we needed? Keep that question in mind. We're gonna see something a little bit later on. Anybody have any questions, comments before we go forward? We're almost done, I promise.
Yes.
Okay, Tom Sheep.
No, now we gotta hold up chapter to go. Who told Jacob that it was time to go?
You still in there, don't do it.
All right, no, go ahead. Move forward.
Top sheep, though.
Verse 42. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Yaakov's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and men servants, and camels, and asses. HalaYah.
He told him to give me all of your I was going to use a word. I'm not going to use that word. Give me all of your different cattle. Give me everything that is defective. So you know how they put things in the store that are defective on clearance and stuff like that. He said, I want all of that. I don't want your strong ones. I don't want any of that. I just want all of your defective stuff. And he wouldn't even give them that.
Oh, no,
Didn't he give it to him?
matter of fact, before you,
No, he didn't, Mama. He didn't.
okay, Imam Heather.
Hello?
You got the floor. Yep, you got the floor.
Okay, what I got from it, I think God instilled his people with wisdom. And I think that he saw that it was time, because if I don't go now, it's going to be problems. So I think the Lord instilled in him, it's time to go. And that's my take.
No, I hear that, but I was going to ask the question a little bit later, but was he told to go? Did he get the word or decree that now is the time for you to leave and go back to your father's house?
Well, like I said, because of the fact that he have a communication with God, he had a relationship and a communication with God. The Lord instilled in him, it's time to go, because trouble was brewing. And if he had stayed, it would have gotten worse. So I think that the Lord instilled that in him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my take.
Can I hear that?
Just want to read something real quick. Because what Yosef said was very interesting. Genesis chapter 30, verses 24 through 26. He said, and it reads, so she named him Yoseph, which is to say, may Yahuwah add another son for me. Verse 25, after Rachel had born Yoseph, Jacob said to Laban, give me leave to go back to my own homeland. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you, that I may go, for well you know that services I have rendered you. So Yosef said that after Rachel gave seed, Jacob said, it's time for me to get up out of here. Well, he told me not to go forward on that thought, so I'm going to wait till he goes forward on that thought.
We've been passing this.
Time was up.
Because, well, no. Time was not up. Jacob said it's time for him to go. The Creator did not tell him to go. Matter of fact, can you, we're in the next chapter anyway. Can you read? Okay, all right, okay. So let's read that first, and then we're gonna build on that thought. So, can you read 31 verses 1 through 3, Aki?
Yep. My bad. Go ahead, you good now.
And it reads, and he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Yaakov have taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was of our fathers hath he gotten all this esteem. And Yaakov beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And Yah said unto Yaakov, return into the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee.
Now hold on, because Jacob, the previous chapter after he got his baby, he go ahead. Sorry,
No, you're good. Like I told you, I'm having a blast. I would say this, right? Have we seen this before? Have we seen this very enactment before? Things get a little dicey. People start looking at you a little bit crazy, side eye. It's like, oh snap. About to have some trouble. When things start getting a little squabbleish, based on what? The amount that you ensemble, based on the Creator giving you these things. You don't see until it's time for the you don't see when it's time until Yaakov to leave, until he accumulates what? Scroll back up a little bit. What that say? Verse 1. What do you accumulate? I don't already left. I got it. Now here I heard the things that Laban said to his son, saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's, and from that which his father had built up all his wealth. So my question would be, he was about to leave. No, not a question. He was about to leave, right? With what? Just his family? When have you seen Abraham and Yitzchak leave or move anywhere without accumulating any wealth based on the Creator? You don't. You don't. But this point right here, he's about to leave on his own fruition. He's like, okay, like I said, the mission done. The woman I love, she conceived. I have all these children here, Torah Rabbah, to the Most High, but now the woman that I love, she is now born a seed for me. It's time to roll. We gotta get up out of here. No, low. Not yet. As I said, we may think sometimes that the mission is complete, wherein so that's not the case. So now we have to get to the point where we have to humble ourselves, take a step back to get the full view, or even allow the Most High to speak to you and let you know when it's time to go. Because let's just paint this picture real quick. What if the Most High would have allowed him just to leave, just with the fam, and that's it? Just for thought's sake.
Sister Don, I see your mic unmuted. Can you had something to add, Mom?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. I'll unmute you until you're ready. Go ahead, Sha.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't hear you online.
I was thinking about the previous chapter in Genesis, chapter 28, and we go back to the vow that he said, that Jacob said, verse 20. So chapter 28, when it said,
Flicker Dawn, we can't hear what y'all saying.
Maybe it's not muted. And then Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Elohim will be with me and keep me in this way that I go, and I will get in and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I will come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall Yahweh be my Elohim. So I was thinking about this. And of course, in verse 22, he talks about giving the 10th. So I was thinking, in this situation, did he receive that? Bread to eat and raiment to put on. And that section we were just reading, verse 31. That's my thought.
Okay, let's stay in that same book, right? 28 real quick. I want to read this. So this is the Father's blessing, right? And we already understand how weighty the blessing is from the Father passing down to the Son. So, and it reads, and I got this one, Adon. Verse 3. I'll read this one. Verse 3, and El Shaddai bless you and make you fruitful and increase you, and shall become an assembly of people, and give you the blessing of Abraham, and you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojourning, which Yahweh give to Abraham. So that's what the Father told Yaakov right before he left, right? So that's what I was saying. He got the blessing from his father. He got the assurance from the Most High. And now we're at this point in his story, in his life, not a story, his life, where it's like, you're still trying to make moves on your own. I'm confused. You're still trying to make moves on your own. A lot of the things that have to come to pass in your life that was already told to you, you just got to be patient. So that blessing, I want to point that out, right? That blessing that Abraham got, what was that? What did he get? He got seed, but what else did he accumulate during that time? Cattle, livestock, male and female servants. What did Yitzchak get? What did Isaac get? 100-fold, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. This did not happen for him yet. But again, Raquel, I got my little thing now. We out of here. Was that the right move? Or was he just acting out on his feelings? Because he was getting duped around out there. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You get in a situation, I see your hand. You get in a situation sometimes where it's like, you get duped around so much that you just like, I just want to get up out of here. The Most High got my steps. I just want to get up out of here, despite what's going on. Let me get off my soapbox. Go ahead, sis.
Shalom. It's the idea of your desires being stronger than what Yah is saying. Yaakov's desire was just for Rachel, Raquel. So his only desire was whenever I get her and we have our children, we are out. His focus was never on the purpose of why he was there or what Yah was doing in that situation. So once he felt like his desire was fulfilled, that's why he wanted to leave. But his desires has nothing to do with Yah, which is why Yah's like, okay, since you're not focusing on this, I need you to stay and do this, that, and the third before you leave, because his only focus was, I got what I wanted, it's time to go. And a lot of times that's what we do as people. Our focus is on our desire. Let me get all this done before I do whatever it is that Yah is calling me to do, because our desires kind of clouds what Yah is telling us to do. And you can see it over and over that Yah had to tell him, hey, you need to do this, or you need to do that. But that wasn't his thought process. His thought process was just Rachel, Rachel, Rachel.
Exactly. The point Torah about for that. And go ahead.
But that's what he was sent there for. Why did Rivka and Isaac send him to the bondhouse? I came here for my wife. That's all I came here for. I only came here for my wife.
But that's kind of like a one-track thinking, if you think about it, because even when the Most High sends you to a place, my only thought process is let's say I'm here for this one thing. There is always something, there's some type of growth that has to happen in you for you to keep that thing. So for you to just miss all of that because of that one, it's kind of like, when they say to people, common sense isn't common. So you got to be real direct on what you tell them, because clearly you can see Yaakov only had a one-track mind. Everything else didn't matter. It was just Rachel. That's it. Or if he knew her name at that time, but wife.
Amen. Amen. I agree.
Would you agree with Mom? He was there for 20 years, right? He was there for 20 years. He had his wife. They had a baby. Now, he was already, what he asked Laban for, if Laban would have said, yeah, they would have been going earlier. The only reason why they had to stay longer is because Laban tricked him again. It said that he said, boom, give me all of your defective sheep, lambs, so on and so forth, right? Laban said, cool, I got you. Then Laban went and gave everything that he was supposed to give to Jacob to somebody else. So now it's like you have a savings account that I'm supposed to give you, and I empty it out and give it to somebody else, and now you got to work in order to build that savings account up again. That was the only reason why he was delayed. Well, outside of the fact that the Creator didn't tell him to go anywhere. But in the physical, it was that. In the spiritual, of course, we know that it was a Creator. Go ahead.
Do you think that delay was just because, like, what I mean by that is, if he wasn't prepared, even if he wanted to leave, then what good would it have been? He probably would have ended up right back there. So that's what I was saying with the whole becoming process, because he probably wasn't mature enough to leave with his wives and children. You get what I'm saying?
I could understand that if something, I got you, son. I could understand that if something else happened in between that would have boosted his maturity. The only thing that happened between Jacob asking for it and Laban tricking him, and now Genesis 30:31, is that he had to go and make them have babies and be speckled and all of that, which he already knew how to do because he did it. So, and he was already a man of the field. So he was already a shepherd. So it wasn't, to me, it wasn't necessarily a maturity thing. It was more of a, when did the creator give you the green light? Because you can be mature, right? And you can be ready for it, but y'all just hasn't given it to you yet. So then now that goes back to, are you waiting on your time or are you waiting on the creator's time? You can be 100% ready for something. Until the creator gives it to you, you just don't have it.
If I may interject, that's a very, very interesting question, because I see both sides of that, right? So the question I would ask is that, are you truly ready? And that'll be my question for that, right? So you can say on both sides of that, for that question, you can say on both sides, yes, you're truly ready, and the Most High hasn't ordered you to leave yet. That's that point. And then you can get to a point that you have to build yourself up for maturity in order for you to leave. So it's almost like it's almost like two sides to that coin, right? But I see it both. But that's kind of like where I'm at with it, because at the end of the day, and I'm looking at I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at my life, and I'm looking at Abraham at one point, because you never truly know what's to befall you if you got, again, that like Sis already brought out, that one-track mind. When you're going on a mission or a purpose, you don't know what you're going to be, I'm gonna say this, gathering during that time frame. Even though you're set out on a singular purpose, you may along that purpose gather something, right? So I'm gonna use Abraham for example, right? So in Genesis chapter 12, where Abraham was told to leave his father's house, and during that time frame of his pilgrimage, he was supposed to go to the land where the Most High told him to go, right? That was his one-track purpose during that time. Along that road, he received souls during that time. He accumulated during that time, right? And I'm gonna use a situation that happened in my life. Me and the wife, we left to go station in New Jersey. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew that we were told to leave, right? We were just told to leave. During that time frame, while I was in Jersey, we were still, in a sense, doing the same thing, like gathering souls, talking to people, trying to be a light to those that were over there. Even though the only thing that I was told to do to go there was just to go to New Jersey, and this was my job over there, right? Which was admin work. That was what my job and my purpose was, to go there. That's my singular purpose. Everything else was an add-on and an extra during that time. So again, I see both sides of that. And again, Torah about for this discussion, I think it's absolutely wonderful at this point, at this time. But we are almost done, Mishpachah. So just bear with me just a little bit longer. Just bear with me a little bit longer. We're almost done. We're gonna get through this, I promise. But as of right now, does anybody have any questions, comments before we go forth? Okay. I lost my train.
I need some clarity.
I am so sorry. It came in like a double feed. If you can repeat that. Shaki, that was you?
Hey, my fault. I had to mute the TV. I was just gonna say I need some clarity on the speckled livestock. So am I correct when I say Lavan tricked Yosef into getting the speckled livestock, or Yosef asked for the speckled livestock?
No, he asked for the speckled livestock. He requested it because, like Adon already brought out, that was something that he requested. He was just going to basically take whatever at that point. One thing I was going to say in regards to that was he was looking for his independency, right? We already know that speckled or livestock in general, that's like your kesef, that's your money, that's your monetary value, especially in the Eastern, even to today's time frame. That's monetary, that's money. So your livestock and things like that, that's what that's looked at. He had a wife, he had children, but when it comes to that monetary value, he didn't really have that like that. So right here at this point in his life, he's trying to build his independence so he can basically roll up out of there. That's why when he asked him his wage, it's like, I don't want a wage. I just want the livestock so I can basically do my thing and be out. And he was willing to take whatever. But again, we're going to see as we go how the Most High uses this act of deception for his gain. Let me say it like that. So did that answer your question?
Hey, that definitely answered my question.
Okay, Torah about. I lost my place. Where we at? 31:4.
Verse 4. And Yaakov sent and called Raquel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but Elohim of my father hath been with me, and ye know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father hath deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But El suffer him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ring straight shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring straight. Thus Elohim have taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream. And behold, the rams which leaped up on the cattle were ring straight, speckled and grizzled. And the messenger of Yah spake unto me in a dream, saying, Yaakov. And I said, here am I. And he said, lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring straight, speckled and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. And I am El of Bethel, where thou anointedest the pillar, and where thou vowedest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Raquel and Leah answered and said unto him, is there yet any portion of inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which El hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever Yah hath said unto thee, do. Then Yaakov rose up and set his sons and wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padan Aram, for to go to Isaac, his father, in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Raquel had stolen the images that were her father's. And Yaakov stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, and that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river, and set his face toward the mountain Gilead. And it was told Laban on the 3rd day that Yaakov was fled, and he took his brethren with him, and pursued after him 7 days' journey. And they overtook him at the mountain Gilead. And El came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob, either good or bad.
Mhm.
Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead.
Mhm.
And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken away with the sword? Wherefore didst thou fly away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and with songs, and with tabret, and with harp, and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But Yah of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
Mhm.
And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods or my mighty ones? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure, thou wouldest taken by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy mighty ones, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And he said to her father, Let it not displease my master, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images.
Pause right there, Don. Torah about step away for a quick second. So I want to build on this point, and then we're going to build back up a little bit. So the response that Raquel gave to her Abba, what is that? What is that? What is actually taking place during that time frame? If anybody can expound on that. Says, for I am in my womanly ways. What does that look like?
Well, there's a lot of lies, deceit, deceptions taking place there with her. What she
In the womanly ways? We're talking about just that point right there. We're gonna build
that
up.
point,
I think maybe they're talking about her, or she was talking about her menstrual cycle.
yes, that's what they were talking about there.
Kane, I would agree. I would absolutely agree. That's a moment of a separation. Again, going back, we're talking about culture, right? So where you see a lot of individuals had their own tents, especially for times of uncleanliness, and even more so before this was even a decree written about in Leviticus. This was already a practice already taking place. You see what I'm saying? So, Kane, everybody's it's hitting in the same vein on that one. So now my question is, right, why did this, just the elephant in the room, why did Raquel take the idol? Just to point out the elephant in the room.
I'm not sure what was going through her mind.
I think maybe she took it so her father would stop worshiping idols, maybe like low key when she was leaving. She's like, nah, I'm not gonna leave this here for my father to keep, it's kind of like what Abraham did to his father. He destroyed his idol before he left his household.
But she
that's
took
like
it though.
Yeah, she took it. Did
I
she
see,
keep
I got a Coke Kyle and I got my Isha right afterwards. I didn't know if he was done. My bad. Are you done?
No, I was just guessing, I guess.
No, you good. You good. This is again open discussion. A Coke Kyle, then Maisha can go right after.
I think that she was worshiping still. I don't think she separated herself from that yet. You saw how Leah became one with Yaakov, but because she had this mindset that everything was kind of about her, I don't think she ever humbled herself enough to cleave to Yaakov.
I can definitely pick that up.
I was gonna say that she wanted something to remind her of her father. So she took something of home with her.
Okay.
And that was closest to her father.
Okay.
Same name, I mean.
No, I mean, I hear that. Did anybody catch that?
No, no.
Maisha said the idol was taken due to the fact of she wanted to still be in relation with her father. So the idol was, of course, a reminder for the father, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of going to be the ending point that I'm going to touch on.
Because she was still, I feel like at that point she was still cleaved onto her dad. If she took it. She didn't like what my sis said, she didn't let go all the way. But she was still worshiping.
Mm-hmm.
And if she wanted to be close to her dad, so that's what she was doing.
Okay. So one of the things I want to point out real quick, right, especially when we're talking about dealing with the righteous, dealing with the Most High, this walk is a walk that requires you to separate from a lot of things. And if you still hold an attachment to whatever, right, it can hinder your growth, it can stunt, you can do whatever. Actually, a word I would actually use is retard, right? And not in the assets of, and Maisha looking like I'm crazy, but here's how I'm explaining it, right? I'm using my cook brain at this point. So whenever you're trying to, if you're making bread, if you want to slow down the process of making bread, you would put it inside the refrigerator. What that process is called retardation. It's literally slowing down, if not stopping the process of growth. That's what it means. It's not the actual terminology that's used out in the world when it's talking about people who are slow. Just wanted to educate that. But it's literally talking about the process of stopping growth. So if you don't let these things go, i.e. the idols, I'm gonna go back, right? Abraham, how he had to go through all the assets and the facets of separating. Yitzchak, same thing, had to separate from a couple of things. In order for you to do that, in order for you to walk in that righteous line, you have to separate from all the things that are contrary to the Creator. And we see here that that wasn't the case right here, which almost enabled the plan to go to action, almost, right? We're gonna see much later what happens during Raquel's life. It's not really pleasant, so I'll say it like that. But for Leah, it's a different story. Cole already brought it out. And it's already spoken about, even when you see her children, right? She's going through her process. She's going through her phase of humbling, trying, testing. And again, it's spoken about in the names of the children. That's why I said before, names, location, things like that that are expressly talked about, they're vital in getting the broader picture of the story. We're still peeling back that onion, right? Maura, I see you itching and scratching over there. What you got?
Okay, so one word that Sar has been speaking on all day is the aspect of culture, right? So culturally, the firstborn, or the one that was going to get inheritance, they were given the household idols or deities. So Laban is more interested, not because of necessarily the worship of these deities, but the fact that he also has sons, and that in order to pass down, it's like the ritual of passing down the inheritance also had to do with these household idols. So what Raquel was doing was trying to steal the inheritance. So she didn't want a part in the inheritance of the Most High. She wanted a part of the inheritance of the house that she left. So that's what this was about. It was more about inheritance as opposed to worship, because we don't really see the worship of these idols necessarily happening throughout their journey. But we do hear the talk of inheritance. And remember what they said earlier. when Jacob was like, well, your father ain't really feeling me, so on and so forth. They was like, well, we don't even have an inheritance in this house. Our father has treated us like outsiders. So she's stealing a part of the inheritance is really what's going on at this particular time, culturally.
Okay, excellent expound right there. Does anybody have anything else before we toast Sifa? Finish out. We're gonna finish out. I promise. We're looking at me like I'm crazy. My goodness.
Verse 36.
Yeah.
And Jacob was wroth and cold with Laban.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin? That thou hast so hotly pursued after me, whereas thou hast searched all my stuff. What liest thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge between us both. This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loose of it, and my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in day. My version is kind of funky. The drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except El of my father, the El of Abraham, and the fear of Yitzchak had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now empty. Yah had seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughter, or unto these children which they have borne? Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee.
Okay.
And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Yegar Sahudatha, and Jacob called it Galid. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galid. And Mitzpah, for he said, Yahweh watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, El is witness between me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast between me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap, and this pillar unto me for harm. Then the El of Abraham and the El of Nachor, the El of their father, judged between us. And Yaakov swear by the fear of his father Yitzhak. And Yaakov offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all the night in the mount. And early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned to his place. HalaYah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So almost done, fam. Just a couple points I want to bring up. So remember in the very beginning of this conversation, I was talking about memorials, right? So we're talking about the aspect of stones. The first place you actually see where a stone is actually erected is in Genesis chapter 28, right? And it's the opening of this chapter in his life. We see everything that he just went through. And that's why I asked the question, do we, in hindsight 2022, do we erect things in our life to memorialize or signify the Creator opening this chapter And then more so, the same enactment, there's a stone being erected, there's a pillar being erected, and that's the closing of that chapter. I would tell you, just from personal experience, there's a couple of things in my life that I look back at on, and I use those as pillars. And I look back at them, I'm like, I praise the Most High Yah for allowing me to go through that chapter in my life, right? So the thing that's been spoken about for me during this time frame is memorialization, things that are being memorialized. There's seasons also in those chapters. There's ups, there's downs, of course. There's times of praising, there's times of exaltation, there's times of despair. You know, there's times where we're fighting and warring with one another. And again, these are all the things where going back and looking at the names, they speak to you. That's just, again, the onions being peeled back. Another question I wanted to ask before we go forward, actually more or less a statement, right? So before, Laban said what? I received divination. Here in this chapter, the Most High talked to him directly. Don't do good or evil to my servant, Yaakov. He was coming after him with that heat. I hate to say it like that, but he was coming after him. There was heat in his heart. It's like the flaring of the nostrils. So he was angry in the face towards him, ready to get him. But the Most High talked to him during this time, not a divinator, not something that was like spoken in your head or a voice that you hear in your head sometimes. This is the Most High speaking to him at this point. And that's how you know. That's how you know that the walk that you're walking is a righteous walk, especially if someone else is like, I could have got you. You was like right in my crosshairs, but the Most High told me not to touch you. So let's break bread. Let's make a covenant with one another. Maury brought out last week, I want to say it was last Shabbat. How when those that cannot compete against you anymore, and they see that the Most High is on your side, they have no choice but to break bread and make a covenant with you. Same enactment here. So if there's no other thoughts, let's just finish this one out. Maury, good?
How can two people of the same house have two different ancestral deities? Oh, all right. Well,
No, you can bring that out. I was like, that's deep. They like let the Elohim of Nekor, the Elohim of
Abraham, they brothers. They brothers. How do they have two different ancestral deities? Or say it in layman's terms, household gods. Y'all came from the same household. Same way that Esau and Jacob are two different manners of people. It's a choice. It's crazy how Abraham he's been separated from his family to the point where it's as if he's not a part of that family anymore, but he definitely shares the same blood. Abraham and Nahor, they are brothers, but they have two different deities. They have two different manners of thinking. So you and your household, more than likely, you are, can't say everybody on the line, but for the most part, you are probably the black sheep of your family, to where you have been cut off from your family in a sense. And that happens usually when you separate yourself and follow the Creator. So when now Jacob, even in the house of his uncle, it's like he's a completely different person. Somebody else was unmuted.
Anybody else have any other comments before we finish
Abraham
up?
was raised by his dad too. Both of them were.
So I wanted to touch that real quick, right? Nahor, we also see, and I just want to expound on him real quick, right? That he was actually a very prominent individual in that time frame, more so to where he had not only land, but a mountain named after him. So I just wanted to expound on him just a touch. And I just want you to understand the gravity of the individual that they're actually talking about when making this type of statement right here. All right. So that's not a light person that they're talking about in regards to Nahor. But again, I think we was talking about it last night. We was talking about you always have Cousin Donnie brought it out. You have a choice, right? Just within the mannerisms of people, how you are going to be as you come up in life. You can follow on the line of Nahor, which is idol worshiping. We understand that. Or you can follow on the lines of Abraham. One already knows the path to where choose life or choose death. But in that aspect of life, just to kind of touch on, it's not an easy road. Going back to that, it's a lot of weeding away. There's a lot of sacrificing. There's a lot of pruning for those planters that are out there. You already know how intricately detailed it has to be in order to take care of a plant. So let's finish out, Adon. Okay.
Chapter 32, verse 1. And Yaakov went on his way, and the messengers of Yah met him. And when Yaakov saw them, he said, "This is Elohim's host." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. And Yaakov sent messengers before him to Esau.
Oh, Slick out, that's the end of the portion, actually. Just right there. So verse 1 and 2, can you repeat that one more time?
Chapter 32, verse 1. And Yaakov went on his way, and the messengers of El met him. And when Yaakov saw them, he said, "This is Elohim's host." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim.
His is broken up different, which is kind of weird. But Cain, that's the end of the portion of Wayyetze. Very, very long, but very powerful portion. It's been interesting. It's been interesting thus far, this whole entire thing. But we see at the very end of it all that the two camps, that's what Mahanaim means. It's two camps. Your camp is now dwelling with the camp of the Most High. That's the end goal. That's what it looks like at the light of the end of the tunnel. Let me say it like that. Okay, I see the post. I like that black sheep theory because it's a real thing, right? And most, if not all of us that are truly chasing after the Creator's face, we are the black sheep in a lot of things, whether it be your job, whether it be family, whether it be just you're going out and coming in, you stand out like a sore thumb. So, and most of the time you are rejected because of that. So,
which is what Jacob wanted. Jacob's flock is full of what? Jacob's flock is full of the defective sheep, but they're not defective, they're special, they're peculiar. So the flock of the Creator was never going to be normal. The flock of the Creator is one that has to be different.
Okay, come on.
Which is why he said, "You are of my flock." My flock doesn't look like everyone else's. You are set apart. You are a peculiar people. You are that which everyone else looks to and tries to figure out, what are they? Because Jacob's flock became stronger. They became they're stronger, but better. Like everything that was great, Jacob took and left Laban with the weak, feeble ones.
And to even add to that, right? And we already see that was the grand plan. Again, just going back, Don Shashim already brought that out. At the end of the plan, that's when you got the full picture, right? So that the Most High provided all these things. If it wasn't for the Most High, you would have left me with nothing. Nothing. How often do we go through journeys like that? And it's like, if it wasn't for the Creator, shoot. Homeless, car list, whatever the case may be, right? List, whatever that list, whatever that is, you add a list to it. That's because of man. So we have to put our trust in the Creator in all things, in everything that we do, to continuously walk this walk out. And again, people, not easy, family, not easy at all. But it's that aspect of leaning on one another, leaning on the Creator, putting our whole heart and trust in Him that He will carry us through and shepherd us, use that word, and shepherd us through all things. And we'd be good to go from there. With that being said, fam, that is the Torah portion for today. I appreciate everyone's attentiveness. I appreciate everyone's feedback and their participation. You have made this extremely delightful for myself, Moria as well. Praise the Most High Yah for all souls that are here under the sound of my voice, and continue to praise y'all in light of everything that's going on. I know there's a lot of things that are going on as far as like the ups and downs. Just know that there are shoulders to lean on and stand on, everything like that. In regards to the story, just the relationship with the Most High is paramount during these times. So I bid y'all shalom, shalom. Shabbat is technically over, so shalom, shalom to all. I open the floor to the Moray for allowing me to have this platform. And again, Torah for you, Don. I praise the Most High Yah for everyone. HalaYah.
HalaYah, HalaYah.
HalaYah.
HalaYah. Okay, HalaYah. I want to say Torah Rabah and great job, Sar Yoseph, and bringing out this portion. Torah Rabah for everyone who has joined, for adding to and making this a very more of a conversation than a lesson, which is always great. For those who are coming to hear Yosef, you're definitely welcome. So Coach Don and well, everybody else already left. Auntie Heather, she already left as well. So for all of those who have come, definitely Torah Rabah to you, Shaki, Amaya. Glad to see y'all as well. Hanukkah is on, well, once again, Torah Rabah, and great job, sorry yourself. Hanukkah is on the 17th, so it's 2 weeks from the day here. So if you do plan on coming out, let us know. And please, Shabbat's over, pay your $50 donation so we can make sure that we know who's coming, because that'll lock you in, and we can not try to get a huge venue if it's only gonna be 20 people. We can do that in the backyard. Let's see. Outside of that, Shabbat will continue to be on Shabbat, and really there are any other announcements right now. Barukatah. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask Aki Uziel. I'm sorry, I'm reading too much. Uziel to pray us out.
All could stand and rise, the city of peace. Place in the east.
HalaYah.
HalaYah.
Torah Rabah, HalaYah. Father, we come before you humbly, giving you thanks, giving you all praise, all honor and esteem, HalaYah. For you are due every single bit of it, Yah. Father, we thank you for this Shabbat. We thank you for this gathering. We thank you for provision, for safety, for health, nourishment of mind, HalaYah, activity of limbs. And Father, first and foremost, we ask that you continuously forgive us, Abba, that you forgive us of our iniquities, our trespasses, and our sins, Abba. And Yah, we ask that you forgive our forefathers and allow us, Yah, not to do the same things that they are doing, but that we will read your Torah and apply these examples, Abba, to keep our feet from the snares and the traps that our adversaries have set before us, Abba. Father, I ask that you continue to allow us to be a cloud in mind, in body, and spirit, which is your Ruach HaKodesh. Father, I ask that you bless each and every vessel that was on the call tonight. Father, we give thanks for Sar Yoseph and you placing your Ruach within him to teach your sheep, Abiyah. Father, I ask that you continue to increase in him and his family, his Isha, his Yeladim, Abiyah, his household. Father, I ask that you continue to bless Moray Dawood. Bless his Isha and bless his hands, Abiyah. And Father, I pray for each and every person on the call that you bless and protect them, that you keep them from harm's way, and that you increase in them your Ruach HaKodesh. HalaYah.
Hallelujah.
Blessed are you, Abiyah. Blessed is your name, Abiyah. And blessed is he that comes in your name, Abiyah. HalaYah.
HalaYah.
Salah wa amen.
Salah. Amen. Amen.
HalaYah.
HalaYah.
Again, family, Shabbat Shalom to you. Again, appreciate everyone's attentiveness. May the Most High continuously
Shabbat
bless you
Shalom.
in all things. And with that, I bid you Shabbat Shalom Nicole.
Lala told y'all, so.
Lala told me.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Lala
Lala told, family. Lala told.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Kai.
Lala, hey, I'll be doing praise and worship every day at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Marie, make sure you get some more doing more of these lessons, don't.
Hey.
Oh, y'all plotting now.
It's a pimple.
Okay. Bye.
Shalom.
Marcus.
Shalom.
Bye.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Bye.
Shalom.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
I don't really know how to. There's so many angles to touch on that. I was like, I ain't working with it. Yeah, it was something that was unique, which was the memorial.
Come here. Yeah, look this picture. You picture. It's a like a picture. I don't know what she did.
You know why.